Okay, we're here with the Scott Genius 720. It's the most advanced bike of the roundup. Advanced, you say? Well, yes. It's the one, they're all around $5,000, all these bikes. This is the one with carbon fiber. Carbon is not easily available today on 650B because it just takes a while to do these carbon fiber molds and perfect them. Scott, for some reason, was able to do it, you know, with a very short lead time. So, hats off to them. I'm sure they'll benefit for that. It is an advanced frame. It is an advanced bike. That's so much technology. You're benefiting from the R&D of Scott and their engineers and their racing team. How so? The rear suspension, super slick. Basically, the pivot is hidden in the frame. Very nice design. The bottom bracket shell is amazing. It is massive. Look how big this thing is. Biggest one of the crew. This thing, C2 flares out to meet it. What you get is a very stiff power box. You see here the brake is in there. It's a trick used by custom builders. You put the brake in between this chainstay and the seat stay. That allows you to save material here. Allows you to make a cleaner design. Put the brake out of the way and onto the stable, the beefy chainstay. So this becomes stiffer anyway. So another one is the cable routing. Cable routing is the often ignored detail by bikes, but this one has impressive cable routing. The way it goes in, hidden. There's one here, and then it just pops out here under the bottom bracket. Really nice. Some of the cleanest I've ever seen. Specialized has been doing some of this routing over here. Actually protects your down tube as well, but this one is the cleanest. And finally, the crown jewel is the twin lock suspension system. So a lot of these bikes now are going to have a dropper post, front locking, rear locking, lever, and Scott has simplified that. What they said is we'll have a lever called the twin lock. What it does is one click is connected to both the front and the rear. You'll stiffen it up from wide open to a trail mode. A second click will basically lock it out, front and rear in conjunction. It really works. If you're that kind of rider who wants to optimize your ride, whether you're climbing, descending, or just carving, super easy to use. One of the best levers out there. And the fact that it's controlling both at once, just amazing. And the way things go, the easier it is to use anything, any kind of lever, any kind of shifter, the more you're going to use it. If it's sticky or heavy, you end up not using it because you're going to need it at the most critical time. You know, when you go off a drop off or something. So that's their Genius. They worked with Schwalbe, Synchros and Schwalbe to provide some components. Schwalbe has the best tires. They didn't quite pick the best one on Schwalbe. This should have at least a haunch dump on the front. They do have knobby nicks front and rear, but it is better, much better than the Kenda Navigal. Lighter and more supple, better traction. The Synchros components work really well. A very flat bar, not a standard 26er riser bar, since the wheel is bigger already, and these are high travel bikes. 120 and 150 talus. SLX brakes, a little lower end than the XT, but the smart people know it's the same. You cannot tell the difference between SLX, XT, and XTR brakes. So downsides for a very good bike, the downsides are, where's the dropper post? This caliber of bike needs a dropper post as indicated in this lineup. So you're gonna have to buy that yourself. And I hope there's routing available already for it because it needs it. The other one is what makes this bike a little different. So it's a fun bike and do everything super stable. Makes it a little stand out a little bit from the rest is it has a little longer chainstay and wheelbase than the rest. Don't judge the chainstay by this. It looks really long. It's not that long. It's just that this seat tube, it meets it here for this huge box. It's about 17.3, so about 0.2, 0.3 longer than the next one in the group. And the wheelbase is just a little bit longer than the Tracer 275. So just a little longer. If you want it super short, you go for the Norco. If you want a little more stable, high-tech, latest innovations in the frame and components, go with the Scott. Thank you.